Hey, welcome back. One of the biggest cyber threats that keeps me awake at night is drive-by attacks. And this is where you're surfing a website and unbeknownst to you, there's malicious code in that website that's running malicious code on your computer that might be installing malware or backdoors or something that gives an attacker remote access, whatever the nasty, nefarious thing may be. And that can often be times very tricky to try to detect and even mitigate that. So there's a feature in Windows 10 called Microsoft Defender Application Guard that allows you to browse the web in a hardware-isolated environment where if you do come across malvertising or any kind of drive-by attacks of that nature, those attacks occur in an isolated environment from your main computer. So in this video, I want to show you a little demo of that, and then we're going to get into how do you design and implement that feature. So let's take a quick look at what Microsoft Defender Application Guard actually is. Okay, so I'm on my work computer and I'm checking my email here. I'm on the company's SharePoint portal, maybe looking at financial reports, and I might go in and submit my expenses or whatever it may be. Maybe I'm just reading the company intranet website. Well, these could all be considered trusted websites. But if I open up a new tab here and I want to go maybe read the news or I want to go out and check my Facebook, when I try to browse to facebook.com, look what happens. It opens a new web browser window. And up in the title bar here, the toolbar, we could see a new icon called Application Guard. And so this is where now this browsing session is happening in an isolated virtualized environment. And in fact, if we open up Task Manager, we can see there that that isolation is indeed happening. So that's pretty cool. So at this point here, I can browse around and it all occurs in an isolated environment. And then if I close out of the window, it will actually remove that isolated environment within a few moments and life is back to normal. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but Matt, I don't use Edge. I use Chrome or Firefox. Well, I have you covered. Here's Google Chrome. I'm logged into a trusted website like my email portal. I'm browsing my email. And there's two things I can do to enable Application Guard with Chrome and Firefox. Number one, go out and install the Microsoft Store app, Microsoft Defender Application Guard Companion app. And then the second thing is install the Application Guard extension. And when I do that, it enables the same functionality. So here in my email, let's see here. Oh, I got a real weird phishing email here. Check it out. It's from Chase. Maybe I need to check my credit card from Chase. I'm going to click Login. It's going to open Application Guard, and here is Application Guard, and boom, right there, Office 365 Safe Links kicks in, and I'm stopped in my tracks. But notice this is Application Guard running. Let's do that again. Let's maybe open up another tab here, and let's just go to Facebook.com. Look at that. It starts up Application Guard. I'm in that isolated environment, and it's going to take me out to Facebook.com. Now, the cool part about this too is I can have policy in there to maybe block, copy, and paste to the clipboard. And so if I do that and I try to open up something like Notepad here to paste it, you'll see that I can't paste it. Your admin doesn't allow you to copy and paste the content between Application Guard and other apps. So there's lots of policy I'm going to show you about here in just a moment to make this possible. So let's jump into the admin side of this. I'll put a link in the video description to all the documentation, but this is required reading. You must do this before you go any further. So there's several types of Application Guard available. There's Application Guard for Edge, and then there's also Application Guard with Microsoft Office. I will save that for another video. And as you scroll through this main page, you will find related articles. Let's talk through the system requirements for a moment. This is really important. So to be able to do this, number one, it's not supported on a Hyper-V or virtualization environment. So just make sure you understand that. Hardware requirements, it needs to be capable of virtualization. So 64-bit CPU that's capable of virtualization, and 8 gigabytes of RAM. Next, you need Windows 10 Enterprise or Professional or Education, and I'll explain why here in just a moment. And then to manage it, you need either Intune, which is now Microsoft Endpoint Manager, Endpoint Configuration Manager, or Group Policy. Now, if we go back to our main page here, I want to walk you through the testing scenarios for a moment. So this is a great page to reference. There's standalone mode, and then there's also enterprise managed mode, and we'll come back to that here in just a moment. And then if we go back to our main links, here it will walk you through how to set it up. So remember, you've got different methods for doing this. I'm going to show you using group policy, although you could do this with, again, endpoint manager or endpoint configuration manager. So let's take a look at group policy. So in group policy, under computer configuration, administrative templates, and Windows components, you will find application guard. And under application guard, you will find all the settings for app guard. So right now I've got it turned on in manage mode, which I'll explain more in a moment. I've got a few things disabled here around camera and microphone access. I'm not allowing data persistence, so like cookies and favorites and that kind of thing. I'm enabling hardware accelerated rendering. In fact, that's pretty cool. Here in the background in AppGuard, I have a YouTube video playing, and you can see that's pretty smooth right there with Rob Lefferts talking, and that's in 1080p. So that's all in the virtualization isolated environment. So that's pretty cool. If we come back to GPOs here for a moment, we can see also some other settings about clipboard redirection, printing, so on and so forth. So you're going to want to understand these, and you're going to want to configure them per your organization's requirements. But how do you tell it what's trusted and what's not trusted? Well, if we come up here to network and then we go to network isolation, this is where we can set a setting called enterprise resource domains hosted in the cloud. And if I set that item, this is where I can tell it which domains are, quote, trusted. Now, if there's a proxy server that's included with these, and I could also set up with that as well. So this is where I have office.com, my SharePoint domain set, and there's a few other things set there in that field. Once I have that set, that is what tells this what's trusted and what's not. So if I go to something like docs.microsoft.com, it's trusted. But if I go to something like google.com, it's going to open up application guard in that isolated environment. Okay, well, as you can see, this is an extremely useful feature. I could see this in scenarios with security researchers, multiple employees accessing a kiosk computer, email phishing protection, list goes on and on and on. And so what's the difference between running AppGuard on Windows 10 Professional versus Windows 10 Enterprise? And the main difference is between standalone mode, where you can go into the menu there and just choose new application guard instance, and enterprise managed mode, where, as you saw in the demo, I have that list of kind of safe domains, if you will. So do me a favor, go out to the documentation, read up on it, test it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see everybody in the next video. Take care. Whoa, hold on a second, don't leave yet. If you found value in this video, click on like because it really helps me out. And if you want to see more videos, click on subscribe because I have new content being released on a daily basis across security compliance from Azure to Microsoft 365 and much more.